eyes are our most powerful sense. And without even realizing it, we're always going around the world asking one question: is this safe? Now, I know that sounds dramatic, but from an evolutionary standpoint, our system has been designed to scan if there's danger. Before we even cared about colors and fonts and aesthetics of places and things, we just wanted to see if we could trust something. And that's exactly why this matters for branding, because that same instinctive scanning is happening every time somebody approaches your business. Now, before somebody scrolls through your caption or goes through your website or even understands what your product or service is, they have made a judgment about your brand in a split second. And that judgment is entirely almost visual. And unfortunately, it's based on things that founders don't pay attention to, like the colors you use in your brand or the shape of your logo or the fonts you use in your website. Spacing, the layout, the overall aesthetic of how your brand comes across. Does it look intentional, focused, and relaxed? Or does it look messy, inconsistent, and just overwhelming? And all of these micro signals come together and tell the brain either one of two things: I can trust this or scroll away. And in today's world, this has become even more important. We live in a world built on overstimulation. Endless notification, constant emails, ads, visuals, content, and it leads to decision fatigue. And people aren't just busy anymore, they're really overwhelmed. They simply don't have the mental bandwidth to analyze everything that's shown to them. And that also means that they can't sit down and analyze all the details of your brand at that first encounter. And that's why branding is so important, because it becomes a shortcut. A shortcut to clarity, a shortcut to recognition, and a shortcut to trust. I speak about this in my earlier videos, but design isn't just decoration, it actually comes down to communication. And the visuals are the very first language your brand speaks, and people can read that long before they even understand your brand. Let's put this into practice. Think about it when you make a decision between choosing 2 new cafes or Pilates studios. You're not necessarily doing a deep analysis in the beginning. You're not reading through their entire website or understanding what was the brand's mission or vision. You just want to make a quick decision. And that comes down to responding to a feeling. Maybe the colors of the website feel calming and draw you in, or the fonts on an Instagram page from a coffee shop feel more energetic and exciting. Now, you don't necessarily consciously think about these thoughts, but you just feel something that makes you lean in. And that's why 2 businesses selling the exact same thing can have completely 2 different results just based on branding. One looks trustworthy and one looks unreliable. One looks intentional, one looks messy, and one looks like it understands you, whereas one looks like it's just trying to copy all the competitors and mash it into one. Think about it. It's the same product, the same ideas, but there's a different perception that has come through just with the visuals. And those visuals build a different perception. And if it's one thing that I want you to take away from this video, is to remember that the perception is the brand. So now let's talk about actually how do you use design as a safety signal for your own brand.